Baby, I love that all of these communities, these POC communities, these immigrant communities that went against Black people, specifically Black women, I love that they are having their F around moment. I'm loving it. Listen, if you aren't following me, if you aren't subscribed to me, please make sure that you are following and that you are subscribed. We trying to grow over here. But back to me loving it. You see, before the 2024 election, I and a whole slew of other content creators who look like me, we tried to warn all of these POC communities that you cannot trust Donald Trump, that we all need to collectively stick together. And if we do that, in the end, we can all get what we want and need from this country. But all of these other POC communities, the Latinas, the Latinos, the Venezuelans, the Cubans, the Muslims out in Dearborn, and now the Muslims out in Minnesota. Yeah, one by one, they are all finding out. Because you see, back on November 2nd or November 3rd of 2024, this is how it started out there in Minnesota with the African Somalian community.
Thank you, Salman, and good morning again. My name is Faisal Deri, and we're here gathered today with the community leaders, business leaders, and youth leaders from the Somali community and from the Muslim community in Minnesota. And we're gathered here today to fully support and endorse President Trump and J.D. Vance. So some of the key issues of the community are the global wars, and we're for peace. Economic issues, family values, and education are some of the critical issues that this community cares. On top of that, this community cares about the economic issues and the inflation. With all these and a number of other issues, the community came together and fully standing behind President Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
That's what they did. That's what they did. And they called a whole press conference that lasted like 50 minutes to an hour to talk about how they were going to support Donald Trump and their issues, and the Democrats didn't earn their vote and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, people who look like me were like, remember back in 2016? Yeah, he put a ban on y'all's countries. And he was trying to get y'all thrown out back in 2016. We were trying to remind you of that, and you shut us out. Yeah, you told us to shut the fuck up. You're doing what's best for your community. Well, that's how it started back in November of 2024. This is how it's going.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year, billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
Listen, was what Donald Trump said racist? Yes, it was racist. But they support the racist. They put their full support behind the racist. So who am I to argue? They wanted him. They voted for him. They got him. And now that they got him, this is what he's saying to them. We tried to tell you, this is how they and he felt about you. And you told Black Americans, fuck you. And you went into the voting booth and you voted for the guy you wanted. Well, now you got him. There are leaders out there in Minnesota who are over the Somalian community. Yeah, they say Democrats lost their support because of concerns over Gaza, the economy, and not feeling heard. So they went into the voting booth and voted for Donald Trump. In a national exit poll, the Council of American Islamic Relations, a major Muslim advocacy organization, found Green Party candidate Jill Stein received 53% of the Muslim vote. Trump secured 21% and Harris received 20%. Some believe that Harris lost the battleground state of Michigan due to opposition from Muslim voters over Gaza. Trump won the heavily Arab American city of Dearborn and secured the endorsement of several Muslim leaders in that state. Jailani Hussein, executive director of the Minnesota chapter of CARE, worked to defeat Harris in battleground states as a leader of the Abandon Harris movement. He said he heard from Muslim leaders in those states that surrogates from Trump went above and beyond to reach out to them. Hussein said they didn't always have comfortable conversations as community leaders questioned why Trump had previously demonized Muslims, but today there are a lot more Muslims who are feeling a lot better that Trump is in. They believed a lie. They believed a lie. And because they believed the lie, this is how Donald Trump is now speaking about them. And oh, wait, he's backing up what he is saying about them by sending ICE into their communities. Trump administration orders ICE to target undocumented Somali immigrants in the Twin Cities. That would be Minnesota. So, yeah, get prepared, Somali immigrant community out there in Minnesota. He's dispatching ICE agents out to your communities. Now, again, I am saying that speech that Donald Trump gave, yes, it was racist. But again, y'all voted for the racist. And during that rant, he mentioned this.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year. Billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing.
Now I want to explain to you what is behind that statement. It's not just lunacy. It's not his dementia. It's not his incompetence. There is actually something going on that's related to that statement. This is what Donald Trump is talking about. There are allegations that individuals, many of them Somali immigrants, they have defrauded Minnesota's social service and pandemic relief programs by billing the state and the federal government for meals, housing, and autism services that were never provided. Siphoning some of the money that they got from the state and federal for these services that they never provided. They were siphoning off that money to transfer them back home through different types of networks, to transfer that money back home, and they are being accused of sending that money to some terrorist organizations back home in Somalia. Now, I got a little snippet of how the fraud, the scheme, the scam went down based on what federal prosecutors were saying, okay? Federal prosecutors say defendants created or used nonprofits and shell companies to claim they were serving large numbers of children meals under the federal child nutrition programs, as well as providing housing stabilization and autism services, while in reality inflating or fabricating the numbers and their documentation. In one, quote, Feeding Our Future, end quote, case, that's the name of the organization, Feeding Our Future. Case operators claimed millions of meals that were never actually served, using fake invoices and rosters, leading to alleged losses in hundreds of millions of dollars. Authorities also describe related housing and Medicaid-linked schemes where providers billed for support services that were only partially provided or not delivered at all. Again, using falsified paperwork to draw down state and federal funds. Many of those charged are from Minnesota's large Somali community, but Somali community members have emphasized that a small group's crimes are being used to stigmatize the wider community. Yes, and that's what makes Donald Trump's statement racist, because it stigmatizes the entire community, right? When it's probably a handful within the community that has been scamming and frauding the state government and the federal government. It's not all Somalis, but a whole bunch of y'all went into the voting booth to vote for a man that has racist views about you as an entire community. Yeah, and this isn't the first time that he's shown you how he felt about you, but yet you went into the voting booth to support him. Well, I've said it many times before, and I'll say it many times in the future. Elections have consequences. You voted for them, you got them, and now you're being served up the consequences. Yeah, I really do wish you all the best of luck.
Trump cars are shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump cars are number one. Trump cars are shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump cars are number one.